In the first video of this year, I will take a look back to 2025, tell you about the results of my 2025 challenge, and give you some update for this year. Hello comrades and peers. A slightly belated Happy New Year 2026 to you all. I've adapted the beginning of the video a little to the last requirements of the YouTube algorithm. Or at least I hope so. Otherwise, I will probably avoid further unnecessary innovations. That was before I learned that Microsoft had updated Clipchamp and erased most of its functions I used. At first, even all of my projects were missing. But today I have access again. Still not funny. The number of videos I uploaded decreased slightly again last year. I even halved the peak value from 2023. But I've been painting more consistently again. Not huge amounts, but the output has stabilized quite well. However, one thing went positively in 2025, even slightly better than expected. And that was related to the challenge I have set for myself. After only playing 2 games in 2024, I wanted to try to complete 1 game per month. This sounds like a reasonable number. However, I wasn't quite so easy to maintain that number over several months, and the games often took place in the last week of the month. In the end, there were a total of 15 games. 3 times I ain't been shot mum, 2 games of Nimitz, Raven Feast and Blood Red Sky, and 1 game each of Absolute Emperor, Black Powder, Blitzkrieg Commander, Victory at Sea, Pacific Command, and Pikeman's Lament. A fairly wide variety of different miniature wargames. However, you can tell that I've opted more for the simpler rules that don't require quite so much preparation. That's why classics like General de Armee are missing, where one should put a little more effort into the scenario. I'm not sure if I can maintain the quota, but I should at least try. I'm still a bit unsure which challenge I'll take on for 2026. I have several options in my mind, and I'm therefore pursuing multiple ones. Which will be the main goal will be revealed in the coming weeks, or the next hobby update. This year in January, I hosted the first demo game in a long time in a private setting. My son and a friend played the Midway scenario from Pacific Command. The rules are quite initiative and easy to learn. By the middle of the game, both players were already quite comfortable with the mechanics, and instructions were hardly necessary anymore. That's exactly how it should work. The impression left by the game also closely resembles the historical circumstances of the time. All in all, a success and progress. Besides the increased number of games, the overall number of non-solo games has also grown significantly. And now there's even a demo game again. Today there should be a short of this game online, and I will add a link to my review on those rules at the end of the video. In preparation for this game, I had tried to paint a few more of my son's ships in the week before. The goal was to paint a little each day of the week to make progress. On Saturday, the finished work was varnished and ready to be used on Sunday. Similar to the American aircraft carrier, I wasn't entirely satisfied with the deck of the Akagi. I guess I need some more practice in painting such models. But at first glance, it certainly looks impressive enough. At least you can recognize her on the table. Besides the carrier, I have an American cruiser, the Chicago, completely painted, and a number of aircraft squadrons for victory at sea. For both factions, Americans and Japanese, an aircraft carrier, a heavy cruiser, and 2 destroyers have now been painted. That's a good foundation to build on. Unfortunately, I didn't get much painting done between Christmas and New Year's. At least I managed to finish the first half of the planes for Blood Red Sky. I'm not entirely satisfied here either, but the next set of planes should be a bit better. I still need to practice weathering with oil paints a bit. But I shouldn't complain about the output. The models have waited long enough to be painted. And this way they are definitely better suited than blank. All in all, I can say that the hobby activity is increasing again somewhat. The next models are already on the painting desk, this time Russian vehicles. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? And if so, what were they? How did they go? Feel free to share in the comments, especially if you have any success to report. Perhaps this will help me decide on my own challenge in 2026. Till then, and take care.